Imagine waking up on a beautiful summer morning in the year 79 AD. You're in Pompeii, a bustling Roman city nestled at the foot of Mount Vesuvius. The sun is shining, the markets are filled with fresh produce, and the sounds of daily life echo through the paved streets. Children are playing, merchants are haggling, and families are gathering for their morning meals. It's just another ordinary day in a prosperous, vibrant town, or so it seemed. For years, minor tremors had occasionally shaken the ground, but the people of Pompeii had grown accustomed to them. Vesuvius was just a mountain, a beautiful backdrop to their lives. They had no idea it was a sleeping giant, a ticking time bomb. The Romans didn't even have a word for a volcano. They saw it as a peaceful, vine-covered peak, a gift from the gods. So, on that fateful morning of August 24th, nobody suspected the terror that was about to be unleashed. Around 1 in the afternoon, a massive explosion, more powerful than an atomic bomb, ripped the top off Mount Vesuvius. A colossal column of smoke, ash, and pumice rock shot miles into the sky, blotting out the sun and turning day into night. The initial shock must have been terrifying. The ground heaved violently, and a deafening roar filled the air. Imagine the panic. People would have stopped in their tracks, staring in disbelief at the monstrous, mushroom-shaped cloud ascending from the mountain. The first phase of the eruption began. A rain of lightweight pumice stones, some as large as your fist, started to fall on the city. It wasn't immediately lethal, but it was relentless. It piled up foot by foot, causing roofs to collapse under the immense weight. The air grew thick with choking ash, making it difficult to breathe. This was the moment of decision for the people of Pompeii. Stay and hope for the best or try to escape. Many chose to flee. They grabbed their children, their valuables, and whatever they could carry and ran towards the sea, hoping to escape by boat. Others decided to shelter in their homes, huddling in basements and under staircases, praying the storm would pass. They believed their sturdy stone houses would protect them. They were tragically wrong. The falling pumice was just the beginning. The worst was yet to come. As the hours passed, the situation grew more desperate. The pumice fall continued, burying the city deeper and deeper. For those who had stayed behind, escape routes were now cut off. The streets were filled with several feet of volcanic debris, making movement nearly impossible. The darkness was absolute, pierced only by the terrifying flashes of lightning within the volcanic cloud. The air was a toxic cocktail of gas and ash. Then, in the early hours of the next day, the most terrifying phase of the eruption began, the pyroclastic surge. This is a superheated, fast-moving avalanche of gas, ash, and rock fragments, with temperatures reaching over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The first surge raced down the slopes of Vesuvius, destroying the nearby town of Herculaneum in an instant. The people of Pompeii likely saw a horrifying glow on the horizon, a sign of the approaching doom. A short time later, another pyroclastic surge, and then another, headed directly for Pompeii. This wasn't something you could outrun. It moved at hundreds of miles per hour. It swept through the streets into every building, every nook and cranny. The intense heat was instantaneous and deadly. Anyone caught in its path would have been killed in a fraction of a second. It wasn't fire or suffocation that killed them in that final moment. It was extreme thermal shock. Their bodies were instantly cooked from the inside out. The surge was so powerful that it vaporized soft tissues almost immediately. As the superheated ash settled and cooled, it formed a hard shell around the bodies of the victims, preserving their final postures in chilling detail. It captured the exact moment of their death. A mother clutching her child, a man shielding his face, a dog curled up in its final moments. These weren't statues. They were molds of real people, frozen in time. For almost 1,700 years, Pompeii lay buried and forgotten under a thick blanket of volcanic ash and pumice. It became a legend, a lost city mentioned only in ancient texts. It wasn't until the 18th century that it was rediscovered by accident. Archaeologists began the painstaking process of excavation, slowly revealing a city perfectly preserved, a snapshot of Roman life. They found homes with furniture intact, loaves of bread still in ovens, and political graffiti still scrawled on walls. But the most haunting discovery was the voids. Archaeologists found hollow spaces in the hardened ash. They realized these were the cavities left by the decomposed bodies of the victims. An ingenious archaeologist named Giuseppe Fiorelli developed a technique to pour liquid plaster into these voids. Once the plaster set, the surrounding ash was carefully chipped away, revealing the detailed plaster casts of the men, women, and children of Pompeii at the moment of their death. These casts are what make Pompeii so uniquely powerful and heartbreaking. We see their final acts of desperation, love, and terror. We see a group of people huddled together, a slave still in shackles, a wealthy woman adorned with her finest jewelry. They provide an intimate human connection to a disaster that happened 2 millennia ago. They're not just archaeological artifacts. They are a direct emotional link to the past, reminding us of the real human tragedy. Today, visiting Pompeii is like stepping back in time. You can walk the same streets, enter the same homes, and stand in the same forums as the ancient Romans did. And as you walk through this silent, ghostly city, with the ever-present silhouette of Vesuvius looming in the background, you can't help but feel the weight of that one terrible day. The story of Pompeii is a dramatic tale of disaster, but it's also an incredible story of preservation. It is a somber reminder of the awesome power of nature, and a poignant memorial to the thousands of lives that were lost in one of history's most famous volcanic eruptions. Thank you for watching. If you found this journey back in time fascinating, please hit the like button and subscribe for more stories from history. See you next time.